With a look at the headlines.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Former Chief Justice Benjamin Odoki calls for respect and protection of the Constitution. President Yoweri Museveni emphasizes consolidating the available peace and security in the country. Kampala, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu promises, while the Uganda Cranes camp in Gaborone, Botswana to shift to Francis Town.
Brought to you by Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Thank you so much for tuning in. It's UBC News Tonight. Former Chief Justice Benjamin Odoki has said that amendment of the Constitution should be considered to ensure it is not distorted. Odoki was officiating at a tree planting ceremony at the Constitutional Square to symbolize the principles and values enshrined in the Constitution 30 years since its promulgation. He calls for viable institutions that will bring light into the Constitution rather than abusing the efforts of the framers.
In order to symbolize the strength, resilience, and growth reflecting the principles and values enshrined in the Constitution of Uganda, stakeholders led by the former Chief Justice Benjamin Odoki visited again this Constitutional Square 30 years since the promulgation of the 1995 Constitution.
This square I have got a lot of history for this square.
The former Chief Justice recounts the making of the 1995 Constitution, of which he was part of the Constitutional Review Commission.
We did it was quite a challenge for some of us, but our vision was that we must build a better Uganda.
Odoki applauds efforts done in the implementation of the Constitution, saying more is needed in order not to repeat the past mistakes in upholding the Constitution.
Yes, you need a constitutional review, not talk from the air. This provision was amended. This provision is not good. There are many provisions in the Constitution which you may need to look at afresh, because now you have had 30 years of experience, and experience is the best teacher.
Odoki calls for establishing viable institutions to protect the Constitution.
Yeah, you must strengthen these political institutions. Otherwise, the Constitution will hang in the air. And nobody will blame me because I did my job. If you don't implement it, and require government to abide by the law and prevent absolute power.
Different stakeholders and the civil society organizations attended the event. The question of who manipulates and disrespects the integrity of the Constitution has since been left to the people of Uganda.
The key article of power belongs to the people because the people are not protected to engage in their governance, the political rights, the freedom of citizens to express themselves, freedom of political parties to mobilize, and that's the biggest challenge. The other second challenge is lack of enough awareness to create a critical mass of citizens that know the Constitution, understand the Constitution, and can defend it.
So it's really about, I think, selfish needs and the greed for power, people who feel they should be in charge, they should be above others and above the law, which is wrong. And I believe also the challenge is we have this information symmetry. Most people do not understand what is behind the Constitution, why we even had the Constitution in the first place.
As young people, we need to live by these principles of constitutionalism. Every time we choose integrity over shortcuts, every time we choose equality and democracy as young people and accountability, we speak up for the Constitution and its values.
The 1995 Constitution will be 30 years on Wednesday, 8th October 2025. Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
All the bad things which you are saying about anybody.
President Yoweri Museveni has emphasized consolidating the available peace and security in the country, embracing wealth creation as well as shunning sectarian politics. Museveni, the NRM presidential candidate, was campaigning in Oyam district.
This is President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's 7th-day campaign rally in Lango sub-region. This has been convened at Boma Grounds in Oyam district. Museveni has been in Lango since last week on Wednesday, 1st October 2025.
And under your leadership, you have been able to achieve 3 basic and fundamental points in the spirit of the Holy Trinity. You have achieved peace, that is God the Father to us from northern Uganda. You have brought development, that is God the Son to us in northern Uganda. Now you have introduced wealth creation initiatives, that is God, the Holy Spirit.
Addressing the president, local leaders appealed for more development programs within their district.
When you ask them that, what do you want me to do for you? You ask anybody at random, they will say, we want a better district.
I stop the road.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Those who say, you vote and say you stop the road. Okay, I will surrender for the district.
Although Oyam has been in the past in the hands of UPC, NRM seems to be capturing the ground.
At my age, 50 years down the road, I know we have 8 candidates who have registered to contest. But I want you to leave this great district without any doubt in your mind.
Ongom did not move alone, but rather came with other senior UPC leaders, including those from the FDC.
That me, Chris Ongom, I pledge my commitment to ensure, as a leader of Uganda People Congress, I will commit to ensure you get my vote and the votes of my family and the votes of those who will believe in my statement.
We don't believe in the politics of sectarianism, of religion, of tribe, of discriminating against women or neglecting children. That's how we have been able to build a national political party, the NRM.
According to the president, the presence of peace has steered Uganda to greater heights.
Before the Europeans came, this area was full of tribal wars. War between Buganda, Bunyoro, Nkore, Rwanda, and so on. After independence, the wars resumed. So this is the first time we have had peace in this long time, and also been able to control the cattle rustlers from Karamoja.
With the district having 17 health center frees covering 16 sub-counties, 60 government primary schools and 10 secondary schools, Museveni says in the coming term of office, he will double the efforts towards service delivery.
Now, in the coming government, which you have pledged to support us achieve, we are going to make sure that all the parishes have government primary schools, and then that all the sub-counties have got the one which does not have a secondary school has a secondary school.
The president says although he has been at the forefront of preaching wealth creation, the sad part of the story is that some individuals continue distorting his message.
Now, unfortunately, some people have not got this message. That's why we still have poverty in Uganda. But fortunately, there are people who have listened.
He further emphasized the preservation of wetlands.
Don't misuse the wetlands. The government is coming with a big plan to dig fish ponds for the nearby communities. Fish pond needs a bit of money, you will not do it on your own. we shall do it for you.
The afternoon downpour did not stop President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni from addressing the most cheering group of Ugandans supporting his candidacy. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni, the NRM candidate, officially kicked off his campaign trail in the West Nile sub-region, addressing his first rally in Pakwach district. In his address to the mainly fishing community of Pakwach, Museveni strongly defended the deployment of the Fish Protection Unit, a specialized arm of the army operating on Uganda's lakes and rivers.
NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has kicked off his campaigns in West Nile sub-region, addressing his first rally in Pakwach district. Your Excellency, you are welcome. Since Pakwach has large fishing communities, Museveni in his campaigns emphasized that the Fish Protection Unit is vital in safeguarding the country's aquaculture potential from illegal and wasteful fishing practices.
And the fish have disappeared in the lake. They are the ones who now forced me to bring soldiers. Soldiers have nothing to do with the lake. They should not be there. But they came because the traditional fishing people either did not do their work or they were overpowered by invaders who took over the lake.
He added that fishermen will be licensed and the government will instead support them with fish ponds to grow aquaculture.
As we prepare the other big fishing project of domesticated fish, so once you tell me who are the indigenous people who used to control the fish, and they are there, and we support them. They look after the fish, others look after the cows, others look after the mountain like Mount Rwenzori.
In a notable political gesture, the president promised to resolve the long-standing cultural dispute between the Alur and Jonam communities. The Jonam have been seeking recognition as a distinct tribe with their own kingdom, separate from the Alur.
A committee of 3 people.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Like a type of judicial commission of inquiry. With authority, with legal powers to say, what do you know? So that if I tell a lie, I go to jail. So that they tell us the history of that.
The local leaders commended the president for programs like Paris Development Model and Imyoga, as well as improvements in education, health and governance.
We have a lot of other government programs which have taken off here. We have 2 seed schools and 8 government schools aided, which are all well facilitated. We have health centers, 2 which are all being promoted to health center 3 in Pakwach. Definitely Pakwach being now a district, the concern that is coming out critically is that they need to have now the district hospital.
A 58 billion project, wildlife irrigation scheme that farmers are already benefiting from. If you see tomatoes and whatever, it is being produced here in Pakwach. We have a Andibo Valley Dam just across here. We have 2 seed schools for a young district like Pakwach built within this term of 5 years. We have Ora Bridge that connects Pakwach district with Madokolo and the rest of West Nile, reconstructed, permanent. That means NRM is in preparation to now tarmac the road from Panyimur to Pakwach up to Difule.
However, they also presented a set of demands.
The total solar eclipse in the whole world was viewed in 2013, where His Excellency the President was the chief viewer. And he pledged to Pakwach that the school where it was viewed, is called Wing Primary School, should be put at international level. We are going to remind him about that.
Therefore, our first and priority request in the next Sanja that we live along the Nile. Many of our people, if you move around, you'll find people with big stomachs. It's not that they are fat, it's bilharzia. So we need a general hospital here.
President Museveni's campaign will take a break for 3 days to allow National Independence Day celebrations and other duties, and will resume on October 11th, continuing across the West Nile sub-region. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Pakwach.
Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago has called for the immediate arrest and prosecution of city businessman Hamis Chigundu of Ham Enterprises for allegedly violating environmental laws. Lukwago says that Chigundu was directed to halt all development on the Nachivubo drainage channel due to absence of a comprehensive plan and an environment impact assessment report.
On 19th August, Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong constituted a fact-finding team to investigate concerns surrounding developments on the Nachivubo drainage channel. This followed a presidential directive issued on 2nd August 2025. The National Environment Management Authority had requested Ham Enterprises to provide all necessary documentation regarding the project, although the company did not comply. Meanwhile, heavy rains yesterday lasting just 1 hour left much of Kampala submerged, with businesses brought to a standstill. In response, Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago warns that the city risks even greater disaster, insisting that the developments Chigundu is pursuing are destroying the city.
Can you imagine this kind of impunity and arrogance? You embark on a project of that nature over our trust property, the drainage channel, without even having the audacity, the courtesy of filing already an application for approval of the plan.
The Lord Mayor maintains that protecting Kampala from flooding must take precedence over unregulated development.
And this is why we have asked the management, please, if we are to remain relevant as an institution of KCC, we must crack the whip. We must take action against this kind of impunity being perpetrated by Ham. If a notice was issued to him way back in August to halt whatever he was doing there, and he has frowned upon that notice, he's continuing with his illegal construction, why not take the necessary steps to have him arrested and prosecuted?
KCC spokesperson Daniel Nwabine clarified that Ham Enterprises only has conditional approval, which requires fulfilling key requirements such as ensuring proper water flow.
Ham Enterprises has the conditional approval for the development that is ongoing. So he has to fulfill conditions within the permit, like ensuring the bridges are there, the access is there, the water flow is not.
He says all developers must meet conditions before being allowed to continue with any construction.
Establish the actual cause of the stagnation. I wouldn't call it flooding because it was for about 10 to 15 minutes, the stagnation that was there. We are yet to establish what exactly caused that. If it is the construction, then we have to get appropriate measures to ensure this does not happen again. But if it is not, then we also have to devise means of ensuring that the water moves smoothly, especially now that we're in the rainy season.
Meanwhile, unknown persons stormed KCCA headquarters, accusing Lord Mayor Lukwago of opposing development. A scuffle broke out, although security quickly intervened and threw out the intruders. Shaidat Nasaku, UBC News.
Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development has officially launched the 31st Uganda International Trade Fair 2025 on the theme Sustainable Industrialization for Inclusive Growth, Employment and Wealth Creation. Our reporters have the detail from Lugogo.
So by Uganda Build Uganda initiative, and the move is beyond what we should do. Let everyone there support our local manufacturers, our local products, our local initiatives, because this is when we shall put Uganda to another level.
It's Naibade Pamela, a director at 3D Lab UG. One would ask what is 3D printing. 3D printing is what you would basically call additive manufacturing, building something from scratch. And in this case, we use a material called filament. It's a thermoplastic. It can melt on heat, and it can go back to a solid form when cooled. We have a lot to showcase. We have brought our machines are here, the materials and the items we've already
booth. We are the proud manufacturers of Octopus home care products. We make laundry detergents, we make toilet cleaners, we make disinfectants, and all made in Uganda. So I urge people to try out my products and help us grow. When you buy a Ugandan product, you are helping the economy of the country and also helping a fellow Ugandan.
I'm here to introduce to you Jojo, which is a product of Uganda. This is our green gold if you're looking at a healthy lifestyle. Grown from Hass avocado, we cold press, so therefore it doesn't go through any heating process, and that's why we call it the extra virgin avocado oil. So support us by buying Uganda, and you'll be able to support our local farmers, our local production, and put Uganda in the roadmap on virgin oil production.
The MK Youth Initiative has launched a nationwide campaign to rally support for President Yoweri Museveni ahead of the 2026 elections. The initiative, spearheaded by young leaders across Uganda, also seeks to inspire youth to take up agriculture.
This is the leadership we're in right now. It's the leadership where we have everything in our hands, all the opportunity. You meet the president, we have this competition of goat rearing, it gives you 2 billion. But is it sustainable? President has talked about the 4-acre model. If I ask you and myself, do we have 4-acre model program? There any of us who has got a 4-acre model? Okay, if it's not 4-acre model, even 1 acre. Do you have right now 1 acre? Because 1 acre gives you close to 70 trees of cashew nut. Now, 70 trees in each tree gives you about 60 to 70 kilograms of cashew. Each kilogram of cashew nut in export is about $30 to $35.
Youth of agriculture, to identify the status of our country, being that it's under agriculture-based country. Youth outside there, they think when it's time for politics, they shouldn't indulge themselves in agriculture. But to us, we think it's a higher time we concentrated much in agriculture.
Mindset change in our country. Like lots of us, let me talk about the youths. We think politics is only about if someone has to give me some money for me to vote for that person. That's the kind of mind we want to change.
President Yoweri Museveni has urged the youth to promote peace and unity and to live purposeful in life. This was communicated by Third Deputy Prime Minister Lukia Nakadama, who represented the president during the opening of the Afro-Arab Youth Congress of 2025.
1,000 youths from over 64 countries are attending the Afro-Arabs Youth Congress in Munyonyo. The 4-day Afro-Arab Youth Congress 2025 brings together youth leaders from member countries and youths in their respective countries. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in his speech delivered by the third Deputy Prime Minister Lukia Nakadama, called upon the youth to aim at keeping peace and create strong networks for a brighter future.
As a patron of the Africa Arab Youth Council, I'm aware that their aim is to take advantage of the existing commonalities between the African and Arab to build peace, unity, and accelerate development in both worlds.
President Museveni said it's time for the youth to strive and understand the dynamics of the world and promote the ideologies within themselves instead of creating divisions.
These historical relations between Africa and the Arab world are deeply rooted and undeniable. They are traced and evidenced in our cultures, religions, and even our languages.
This appeal was echoed by Betty Among, the Minister for Gender and Labour.
The other guidance that His Excellency the President always tells us as those in charge of the youth is that you must preach coexistence and tolerance. And I hope all the youth goes with the message.
Minister for Youth and Children's Affairs, Balam Bargahara, said the conference is timely and critical in enabling the youths to share great ideals in terms of development.
Under the visionary leadership of the President, government is deliberately also putting in place programs aimed at harnessing the potential of young people, including ICT innovation, preparing youth for digital economy.
Dr. Abbas Agawa, the General Secretary, Afro-Arab Youth Congress, applauded the patron of the Congress, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for the support toward the success of the Congress.
We therefore thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda for leading the way for young people and giving them opportunity to shine in the time he's leading, even to prepare for the time beyond the leadership.
He also highlighted some of the achievements registered by the Congress and aspirations.
His Excellency the President graciously accepted the request and donated 50 acres of land for the construction of the international headquarters of the Afro-Arab Youth Council.
Others in attendance included the former Premier, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, and the Minister for Youth, Rwanda, Saldrine Umutonyi.
This is extremely important because in the olden days, this partnership and collaboration at such a young level in terms of age was not there.
It is indeed opening doors for youth to connect to funding opportunities, to mentorship and global networks.
UBC spoke to several youth in attendance.
Today, as youth, we are having the opportunity to network with our fellow youth from Arab countries.
As youth who have been here today, we have been an opportunity to involve in this Afro-Arab conference. We have had our very own, the Minister for the Youth, and we are really happy to be involved in issues that involve us as the youth.
The Afro-Arab Youth Congress is being held under the theme Amplifying Youth Voices for Peace, Unity and Prosperity.
Public institutions are encouraged to gazette spaces for physical exercises as a way of combating the growing burden of cardiovascular diseases. The appeal was made by Dr. John Omagino, Executive Director, Uganda Heart Institute.
Commemoration in Entebbe commenced with a health heart walk and physical exercises which attracted huge numbers. The event is aimed at raising awareness about the rising cases of heart diseases in Uganda.
The point is we must get the physical exercise. The physical exercise must not be in a wide space. You can do that by skipping a rope. How much does it cost? You can do that by jumping into your what you jump. It doesn't need to have a big space.
Representing the Minister of Health, The Director Health Services at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Charles Olaro, commended the work of the institute and encouraged Ugandans to utilize the self-care initiative launched by the Ministry of Health.
Self-care is really how do you take about yourself to be able to do health promotion, disease prevention, or manage any element in the presence or absence of a health worker. And self-care is also self-love. And there are many small things which you as individual can do. And that's why we're saying that we need to invest in health literacy, the same way we invest in financial literacy.
Chairperson Board of Directors, Uganda Heart Institute, Dr. James Magara, disclosed the progress of the construction of the Uganda Heart Institute.
And with the above, we wish to note that the standalone Uganda Heart Institute 250-bed hospital in Nakuru is progressing very well. And we are closely monitoring its development to ensure timely completion.
The event attracted leaders in Entebbe municipality who highlighted the growing threat of non-communicable diseases and the need to take action.
This was not just about distance. It was about us working towards a healthy heart. This is not just about the walk and us coming to take pictures and videos. It should be a commitment to living healthy, eating better, moving more.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
The National Resistance Movement has launched a grassroots mobilization campaign in the Busoga sub-region ahead of the 2026 general elections. Speaker of Parliament and NRM Second Vice Chairperson, female Anita Mong, is leading the efforts.
The NRM Second National Vice Chairperson, female Anita Mong, is in Busoga for a mobilization drive ahead of the campaign schedule for NRM presidential flag bearer Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The Speaker of Parliament addressed residents at Irundu Township Primary School in Budiope East, Buyende District.
We have been in the north, we have been there, everybody says this time we are all giving President Yoweri Kaguta our vote.
She was accompanied by the NRM Vice Chairperson for Western Uganda, Jonad Asinwe Akiki.
Ntemiaka n'etaano tugenda kukola ebintu, tugenda kuleetinga emirimu, tugenda kusupportinga sports, mwabagala sports, Jonadi yoyo yennyini. N'omuzindalo gw'omwegwerako guno baguyita Jonadi.
Anita Mong rallied support for the ruling NRM party, reminding residents of the peace and stability in Busoga, which she said has enabled increased productivity. She also pledged that roads in Buyende district will be tarmacked.
Honorable Salmon talked about this road of Kamuli, Ingo, Irundu, Kaliro, Palisa. The president has already written a letter in regard to this road, and this road is going to be worked on.
She said that health facilities have been upgraded to ensure safer and more accessible healthcare services. Among also revealed that the government has increased the parish development model revolving fund per parish.
Because we believe our people need more money, we have increased to 115. Clap your hands. And I want to tell you, that money is your money. Go and get that money and do business with it.
She urged striking teachers to return to work, assuring them that the government is committed to holding talks to address their concerns, including improving teachers' accommodation in Buyende.
And I also want to plead to the teachers out there. That is not the best thing. We can sit on the table and agree, but go back and teach the children.
Among also assured fishermen that the government will continue to protect them and encourage them to continue with their fishing activities.
The president is in charge of that issue now.
A group of youth defected from the National Unity Platform to the ruling NRM party.
To receive you in the NRM, and assure you that we shall work with you in the NRM. Just give me your leader and and I will continue monitoring you. I'll make sure that this is your leader. I will make sure that I will work with your team. And I want all your names, and I see and monitor these people.
Thank you so much for watching. Let's take a short break.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalippagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Thank you so much for watching. It's UBC News Tonight. The Ministry of Energy has called upon the public to be patient as the electricity distribution company refurbishes the dilapidated power network. Minister Ruth Nankabira says that the network upgrade is planned for 2 years, which is still ongoing.
The Minister of Energy and Mineral Development wants more resources to refurbish the electricity distribution network. Ruth Nankabira, the line minister, says Cabinet approved a 5-year strategic plan for the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited worth $350 million.
Has also secured land for new substations. There is land I mentioned in Majije and land at Kawempe. Of course, this substation at Kawempe is going to help us stabilize power in Kawempe Referral Hospital.
The rampant power outages are consequential and is expected to last during the upgrading of the electricity network.
It means inconveniencing people temporarily, switching them off as you are working on a transformer. You switch people off as you refurbish a system. And you remember at the time of takeover, I talked about consequential inconveniences, and I want to repeat that Ugandans will continue to experience consequential inconveniences until all the system has been fully upgraded.
Government-approved loans agreements for the establishment of 2 substations and replacement of some transformers.
This is going to see us construct a transmission line, 400 kV transmission line from Oluyo, Nimule, and Nimule Juba. This will be funded by African Development Bank. Masaka, Mbarara, Mirama, there were many transmission lines that are going to be constructed. You know what this means? This means that power is going to be stabilized.
UEDCL has extended the wetlands campaign amnesty period for 3 months and will end in the January of 2026.
I'd like to announce it here today and now that Wetereze has been given another 3 months for you to come out and say, Ndoko say I've been stealing, and we give you the meter and we will not charge you. To date, over 22,397 people have benefited.
Nankabura says her ministry has mobilized the public to support government in fighting vandalism, power theft and other illegal activities in the energy sector. Abdul Nasser Lobwama for UBC.
Local council chairpersons and NRM leaders in Busukuma division have raised concerns over challenges affecting their community and called for government action. Concerns raised include poor road networks, inadequate health facilities, and the poor state of government schools in the division.
The town clerk, Festo Tandeka, has embarked on special tours to all the divisions, meeting local leaders in Busukuma division to assess the state of service delivery and progress in Nansana municipality.
The purpose of this meeting is to account to the community how much we have received in 4 years, how much we have received under roads, water, education, health. They also to show what have we done with the money we have received.
In the meeting, attended by local council chairpersons and NRM leaders in the division, raised concerns on poor road networks, inadequate health facilities, and the poor state of government schools in the division, hence calling for government action in return the taxes they pay.
We still have these bypass roads which are now joining to the main road. Once they are not constructing those bypass which are joining the main road, they are doing nothing, because blockage and even culverts which they are bringing, they are useless. We need at least they construct 1 meter from the main road, which can help. For the case of school, we have a problem of teacher. Teachers are not working because of the poor payment. The government must change the way of payment and even facilitations.
The town clerk explains how government funds are utilized to support development projects such as the parish development model, Emyoga, and other local initiatives.
We have constructed hospitals, health centers, staff houses, classroom blocks. We have constructed the material hall at Wambo. We have equipped our theater. We have upgraded the health centers. We have started a staff house at Kawanda.
He vowed to strengthen service delivery and ensure transparency in the project implementation.
These issues are answered because we have got feedback. There are issues of security, the theft of their animals, there are roads which are not owned, there are issues of electricity, there are issues of water not extended to their villages. We're also going to get the government to make sure people get the services, which is the mandate of government to improve the service delivery.
Meanwhile, Nansana Municipality Resident City Commissioner Charles Ranga directed security agencies to intensify operations against animal thieves.
We must make sure that we protect our people so that they are not disturbed by criminal-minded groups.
The program forms part of ongoing municipality outreach visits across all divisions in Nansana Municipality.
A section of youth from the National Youth Council have expressed dissatisfaction with the recent youth elections, citing irregularities and accusing the electoral process of being unfair. They claim that many of their colleagues were denied the opportunity to vote, and some NRM leaders allegedly influenced the outcome.
Last week, the Electoral Commission conducted the National Youth Council elections at Jambugo, where Daniel Ogum was declared winner. Various youth groups disputed the results, citing alleged irregularities.
There's a section of people, particularly in the NRM Secretariat, who have made it a point to always front candidates of their own interests. As young people, they are frustrated. They are injecting billions of money.
This case is the fact that
The NRM party allowed us to participate in the NRM primary elections, and at the end of the day, they disqualified us on the grounds that we do not know. We feel like we at least deserve clarity, we deserve explanation, and we also deserve to be listened to.
A group of youth leaders led by Sui Isaac and Nwahereza Grace have petitioned the NRM chairman seeking intervention to address their grievances and reconcile the parties involved before the general elections.
And we were told to be patient. This one happened before the final election. We were told to be patient because the national chairman, who was supposed to listen to us, was still in for a rally. But at this point in time, we are seeing that there is some little break. If they can give us opportunity for a reconciliation meeting.
The youth threaten that if their issues are not addressed, they may consider leaving the party, having been disappointed by no response to their complaints.
The biggest concern is we are tired of having the influence of the national treasurer in our election. And other stakeholders who are not youth. Two, we have our colleagues that were treated misfairly.
They also allege that politics was commercialized during the elections, which they fear could lead to poor leadership. The situation highlights the challenges faced by young politicians in Uganda and the need for transparency, including a fair electoral process within political parties.
Environmental and public health experts from Uganda and the UK have concluded a two-day conference in Kampala with a renewed call for action on pollution control. We have details to this.
Held under the Health and Population Action Project, the meeting emphasized the affordable household water treatment solutions like ceramic filters, community sensitization, and stronger wash programs in schools to curb waterborne diseases.
GAP has given us some air quality monitors, and those air quality monitors have a wide range of parameters that they monitor. Previously, with AirCo, we were able to monitor only 2 parameters, and the environmental parameters like temperature, humidity. Then we were only monitoring PM2.5 and PM10. But the monitors that GAP is giving us for this very project are they have a wider scope. They look at other gases, which we are grateful for.
Delegates highlighted increased recycling, biogas generation, and integrated waste management to reduce landfill pressure.
An health and pollution action plan is a process convened by GAP, but then is this working group made by all the stakeholders that I listed, including your government, which will determine what does it generate the highest impact. Because of course, I mean, water pollution is an issue, waste is an issue, air pollution is an issue. We have a long list, unfortunately, and this is not just in Uganda. It's a situation many countries face. But the angle will be what does produce the highest impact in terms of illness and deaths. So if we address waste management or air contamination, what is the outcome? What is the impact?
UK and NEMA officials said Uganda was progressing and pledged continued support for regional collaboration and sustainable community-led environmental initiatives.
But the question remains on how to implement some of these things that we sign up to. Now, the work we're doing here, I believe, especially when you look at it from the lenses of the regional forum, will give countries that confidence to sort of demonstrate that, look, this is what we're doing to tackle pollution already, but, we're happy to sign up to these agreements. We can showcase that we're already doing stuff, and we need, the support, the additional support in terms of, capacity building.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Uganda today celebrated the remarkable life and legacy of the late Dr. Jane Goodall, the world's most renowned primatologist and conservationist, during the launch of the Jane Goodall Legacy book held at the Sheraton Hotel.
Speakers paid glowing tribute to the British scientist whose pioneering research with chimpanzees in Tanzania's Gombe forest redefined humanity understanding of animals.
Jane Goodall Institute Uganda began because Jane herself was involved in bringing back the 4 chimpanzees that had been confiscated trafficked from Uganda and taken for the European tour, circus tour. She was able to bring them to Uganda, working with ICN and other Ugandan institutions. But years later, after establishing Gamba Chimpanzee Sanctuary, the threats to the chimpanzee continued to grow. And therefore, we felt that we needed to separate from Gamba Chimpanzee Sanctuary and make it as a trust on its own and form Jane Goodall Institute on its own.
Dr. Goodall famously communicated with the chimps, named them, and revealed their emotional depth and social behavior discoveries that reshaped global attitudes towards wildlife.
One of the reasons that Jane was so special to us and continues to be special, one thing she would always insist when she comes to Uganda is to spend time on Gamba. And she liked to spend time with the chimps or time alone on the beach. To listen to nature, to listen to the birds, to watch. And she taught us very, very important lessons. I remember she would tell us, you know what, when you want to connect with animals, you need to just sit back. Sit back, be quiet, and listen. Let the animals approach you, let them reach out to you. Keep your eyes open and view them as individuals. And, you know, she would inspire us by telling us, you know, every animal you meet, whether it's a dog, whether it's a cat, whether it's a cow, they can tell. They can read us, and from that we also learn how to read each other as human beings.
Guests also signed a legacy board pledging to uphold and advance her lifelong mission of caring for people, animals, and the environment.
And I'm very grateful that we had the opportunity to work with her, but definitely we will continue working with her legacy with the Jane Goodall Institute in Uganda. We all need to be aware that we share a planet as humans, we share a planet with animals, and we need to protect that planet in order to safeguard the nature, the forests, the animals, the different species for the generations to come.
The Jane Goodall Institute Uganda used the occasion to announce a series of activities to keep her conservation spirit alive. Dr. Goodall, who passed away on October 1st, 2025, aged 91, founded the Roots and Shoots program, which continues to inspire millions of young people in over 140 countries to take action for a better planet. Sudat Kaye.
As Uganda prepares to mark the 63rd Independence Day on the 9th of October, Ugandans have been urged to embrace the country's rich cultural diversity and uphold the spirit of Pan-Africanism.
West Africa is encouraging Ugandans to embrace their culture identity as the country gears up for the 63 years of independence celebrations. The student leaders emphasize the importance of nurturing traditions and values, especially among the youth.
So Uganda is an amazing place, and as you know, IUE is very diverse. We have students from all over the world. The one message we always receive is how welcoming Uganda is. It's the one place where we have people from all over the world, and they always say it feels like home. So this celebration is not only for Ugandans, but for everyone to praise and love.
Culture and religion. This is my message to the Gen Zs out there. We have only one Uganda. We have only one culture, and the culture is the African culture. As we are celebrating 63 years of independence, this is the time where we have to come and embrace the love of our home through the culture, through how we dress, through how we dance, through the food that we cook.
They also praised the government for preserving Uganda's independence through promoting peace and unity.
We are going to be celebrating who we are. Like in simple terms, we are going to be celebrating our identity as Ugandans.
As we are celebrating our 63rd year
independence as Uganda, we have to actually look into the deeper perspective of it, and we look at our neighbors. You know, the independence of a single African country is useless if our neighbors are not independent. That's why we went ahead and we chose a panel topic discussion which is looking into the independence of African states versus the independence of the African people. And we want to deep dig and we find out, are really African people independent regardless of the fact that their countries are independent?
Students at IUEA have commended the university for organizing the Independence Day celebrations and
big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairo mpia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairo mpia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Business news tonight. Jubilee Insurance has marked Customer Care Week with a community outreach held at the Naguru Teenage Center in Kampala. The outreach, organized on the theme Care Beyond Service, brought together Jubilee Insurance staff and volunteers who engaged with young people through mentorship talks, wellness activities and interactive sessions on financial literacy and health awareness.
Jubilee Insurance, we are here this morning to give back to the communities that we operate in, and in particular we are at the Teenage Naguru Center, where we've donated a couple of donated mama kits to help our mothers in enabling them to have safe deliveries of their children.
These mama kits are going to help the mothers in safe delivery, clean environment, comfortable zone. And they will not spend money to buy such. They are going to use it for free. They have not sold it for them. Thanks so much.
And to ensure that the young teenage mothers are supported by these packs. These packs are ready essential kit packs, ready for delivery. And we are very pleased that we are able to support in this small way.
The Uganda Cranes camp in Gaborone, Botswana is now full house upon the arrival of Tars Mutiaba and Rogers Mato. The team has held its Tuesday training session in Gaborone and will fly to Francistown for the final session ahead of the World Cup qualifier Group G game against Botswana on Thursday. Among the players in the camp, Dennis Onyango, who talked to the nation about the mood in the camp.
The motivation, of course, is from the team because it's been doing well. 2 clean sheets from the last 2 games at home. And we can also get results here. Very difficult team to play against in Botswana. Years back we played here and we got results, which is possible. So the boys must just know that it's possible to get results away from home, and we must fight because they're a good playing team, and that we need to share with the experience from me, Aucho, and a couple of guys who've been here a couple of times. And I believe it's possible to get results. Yeah, the southern part plays the same style of football. They play very good passing, quick football. And they are quick off the mark, and we just need to manage the transitions, the counter-attack football, because they are quick on the counter-attack, and we will be good to go. In terms of set pieces, we have the height. They also have a few players with the height. They've scored a couple of goals through set pieces, but if we manage our set pieces and the counter-attacks, I believe that we'll be able to get results away from home.
Uganda Athletics Federation has added 24 coaches to its human resource.
Over the past 7 days, 24 coaches have undergone the World Athletics Educational Certification System Level 1 course. The tutorials featuring oral and practicals were first at Chambogo University and later at Mandela National Stadium Nambole that has hosted the closing ceremony.
We believe that the knowledge they have got from the national facilities will help them hone their skills and also go on to do level 2, level 3, and altogether having competent coaches is one way to go in terms of improving the sport. And we're also happy that UAF has not only focused on track events like running, but also field events like what you can see behind us here, javelin, shot put, long jump, are things which have also been imparted. So we're going to have coaches that are across, and also we see within this cohort some former athletes, Justin Baiga, who are elite athletes, who are now transiting into becoming elite coaches.
Uganda Olympic Committee President Dr. Donald Rukade, who graced the closing ceremony, applauded the initiative as one to empower and boost grassroots development.
And these programs are very essential because, as you know, within the ecosystem of sports, we have our athletes, we have the coaches, the administrators, the fans, the government. So there are many stakeholders, but coaches play an important role in the development of athletes, and therefore having skilled and competent coaches is essential for any sport to flourish.
He expects a trickle-down effect and advises the coaches to reaffirm commitment towards safeguarding. Attention has been on the future of coaching being shaped through knowledge, passion and world-class training, all aimed at elevating Uganda.
Today we have finished the level 1 coaching course, and it is conducted in a new curriculum. So the group we have of 24 coaches is the first cohort of this training, who, by the way, are all going to be licensed. All those who pass will be licensed, and they will be the first coaches that we are going to license. We believe that this training will impact these coaches and impact Uganda athletics positively.
The participants included Justin Baiga, Sarah Nambawa, Francis Siga, Betty Aloyo, Stella Akidi, and John Okerol. These participants, most of whom are former athletes, have been equipped in areas like field events, track, and road engagements, with each getting specialization in the genre that he or she didn't partake during their active days.
Ugandan rally driver Yasin Nasa has been named the best driver for the month of September by the Real Stars Sports Awards.
To the Real Star Award, Rally ace Yasin Nasa outperformed well-known competitors Ronald Sebuguzi and Julius Semambo after claiming the Continental crown, marking a historic moment in his racing career.
You see, all the events for all the drivers are difficult. There are none of them which are easy, and because you know every stages are technical. It is all about you, the team, the driver, and the navigator, to make sure you keep the car on the road, and the mechanics to make sure that the car is well prepared.
The monthly sports awards organized under the Real Star Sports Agency also recognized other outstanding athletes across different disciplines.
But of course, sponsors Solutions.
In football, Hilary Mukundane was awarded Best Player of the Month, ahead of Alan Okello and Ibrahim Kasinde. In boxing, Muzamiru Kakande took the top honor, beating contenders Suleiman Segawa and Shakul Mugambe. The Lifetime Achievers Award went to former Olympic weightlifter Ali Kavuma, who represented Uganda in the 1988 and 1996 Summer Games. According to the organizers, the awards aim to recognize excellency and promote competitiveness amongst Ugandan athletes in different sports.
And that brings us to the end of news tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael Zidondokomwa. Enjoy the rest of the night. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Uganda will celebrate her 63rd Independence Day anniversary on Thursday, the 9th of October, 2025. Independence Day commemorates the nation's freedom from British rule, which occurred on the 9th of October, 1962. This year, the celebrations will be held at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds under the theme 63 Years of Independence, a reason to double our efforts in sustaining a united and progressive nation. The event will be presided over by President Yoweri Museveni. UBC TV will relay the celebrations in real time.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UCUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UCSAF, and we're happy that UCSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What did we get from ICT for Farmers? We managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
I'm Father Joseph Muchibi, the Director of Communications and Public Relations, Kampala Archdiocese. Dear people of God, may the mercies of God be with you always. On behalf of His Grace, Jose Mogerere, the Archbishop of Kampala, I convey warm and Christian greetings to the general public. Lubaga Cathedral, the seat of the esteemed Archdiocese, has made a centenary jubilee since her consecration in 1925. This is a sign of God's presence and mercy among His people. The centenary celebrations will take place on October 26, 2025, and will be guided by the theme, "The Temple of God is Sacred, and you are the temple." The Most Reverend Paul Semogerere implores all people of God and goodwill to pray and generously contribute towards the preparation, faithful and successful celebrations of this sacred memorial event. For financial support, use Centenary Bank, account number 31 00 11 71 79. In the name Lubaga Cathedral at 100 years. May God bless your generosity as you donate.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour,